他の誰かを呪わずに私たちの年をそういう仕組み私って本当か。
like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is. You, hey, hey. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Grand Finals of ESSA. Henry's Reddington Showdown Annihilation reaches its conclusion. We have ninerik from the winner's bracket. We have WindowLife from the loser's bracket, matching up on an absolutely brutal speed pool to determine the champion. I think we are in for a treat. WindowLife looked great yesterday in his victory over Aimbot Cone. ninerik has looked incredibly strong the entire tournament. And these guys are out to prove who is the speed player extraordinaire. I'm this one guy. Joining me for this grand final will be none other than Miles. Good afternoon, Miles, and welcome.
Good afternoon, Aaron, and I am super hyped for this matchup. We finally get to see the number 1 seed up against the number 2 seed, ninerik and WindowLife. It just felt like from the onset of the tournament that these two would be the ones to meet in grand finals. And this map pool, absolutely brutal. We saw a couple matches played on it already, or a couple, I mean just one. We saw WindowLife go up against Aimbot Cone on it yesterday, winning that match, I believe, 7-2. And it just showed how brutal this pool was. Both of those two top-tier tournament players in the world, Aimbot Cone and WindowLife, getting B ranks and even C ranks on some maps in this pool. So they've certainly got their work cut out for them on this pool.
Yeah, this is one of the hardest speed pools you are probably ever going to see. One of the hardest pools in terms of raw star rating you're ever likely to see. It stands alone in terms of what it's going to require from the players. I mean, you've got Veil of Elysium DT, you've got View of the River Styx DT, you've got Soul Seeker, you've got a lot of ridiculous maps, and you've got players who I think have some interesting both overlap and non-overlap in skill sets. So I'm very excited to see, what they protect, what they ban, and what the picks end up being between these two, because they have a lot to offer in kind of different avenues of speeddom.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the match, but we are already into the protect phase. We see WindowLife protecting Sputnik, with ninerik protecting Thing 3. And first ban from WindowLife, going to be View of the River Styx, so we just mentioned that map, unfortunately going to be banned out. And ninerik going to be banning out the S7, so burn this moment into the retina of my eye. DT going to be banned. And S13, the next ban from WindowLife, that one looks like Happy End of the World also being banned. Some of my favorite maps in this pool getting banned out instantly.
Yeah, a little bit of a shame to see some of those gone. The protect there for WindowLife, I do want to mention, did play Sputnik yesterday, 89.23 AC on that one. So he thinks that is either good enough or that he'll be able to improve it. And last ban, S14 for ninerik, that is perfect free. So ninerik banning two of the best songs in the pool, but two maps that I do think are suited to WindowLife, where they're, kind of some bursty, a little bit of obviously tech elements to perfect free. Some non-traditional, not quite so raw speed focus, but more in kind of the finger control requirement, which is an area that it seems like WindowLife may have some advantages on. And a very quick a very quick starting phase of this match. We already have the first pick in. It is S4. It is Kakuzetsu Thanatos DT.
Oh my god, I cannot believe we are seeing Kakuzetsu Thanatos in a DT pool, the Rin difficulty. This map is so iconic. It was in multiple OWCs. It was Grand Finals, I think, free mod in 2015, and then it was Hard Rock in Grand Finals in 2017, if my OWC pooling memory is correct. But now, in the double time pool, the Hard Rock maps of the past, the DT maps of the present, just something that, as we continue to go forward with skill cap, it just continues to amaze me. This map, so difficult on the finger control and the aim control, and definitely, I think, a really good pick for ninerik as definitely one of the best finger control speed players in the world.
And just the raw speed requirement of this one, too, of course, 300 BPM. We'll see a lot of those high BPM maps over the course of this one. Curious as to which of these players is going to be more comfortable on them. And in we are going to go. Goodness, don't you just love 1v1s, man? Such fast pans and so quickly into the first pick. Ah, you love to see it. And both players starting off decently strong. Holding very similar, though, just plenty of breaks. And this is going to be, I think, the case in these maps a lot of times. Like, there are so many patterns in so many of these maps that it's easy to fall off of, easy to find some misses. And for now, it is a dead heat through the first couple hundred combo of the map.
I think on a lot of maps in this matchup, we're going to be looking at chain misses to be one of the big determiners of people's accuracy, but this is not one of those maps. I feel like this is one where you're probably going to be finding just act drops normally instead of chain misses. We see these double sections catching out WindowLife a few times. ninerik holding on strong, 97% in the first half of Kakuzetsu Thanatos. That is such a strong run from him so far, but still a lot of map to go. WindowLife still creeping up behind, only about 1.5% behind.
Yeah, this will be very interesting to watch. Some of these sections just challenge you so much. It's easy to break, find a couple misses. There's ninerik dropping that combo, does keep the ack up. That next Ki, I think, is going to be key because both players SS that longer stream, but the Ki sections are so much more difficult. The little, like, I don't know if it's 1/3 through a 4 rhythm. Those single taps can catch you out. Any of the tapping that also combines a little aim into it is very, very challenging. And you can see players just missing on things in really random, what feel like random places. So you remember they're playing Kakuzetsu Thanatos DT.
Dude, how does ninerik almost have 98 on Kakuzetsu Thanatos DT? Into the core as WindowLife finds a few more breaks as ninerik gets past 98%. What the hell is he doing, actually? This map is not meant to be DT. This is 300 BPM. This is a control map. As we get into the brutal ending of this map, the act drops do come out from ninerik, down around 97 now, but WindowLife to find some subsequent act drops, and it's probably going to be guaranteed for ninerik now.
Yeah, ninerik's dropping a lot of ack on this ending, but fortunately had a big enough lead going into it that he was able to hold on, and that's going to be 96.16 to 94.67. A decent enough lead. I mean, if you saw the 2/3 mark going into that last Ki, it looked like it was going to be a lot worse than that, but it was a relatively comfortable win for ninerik on that one, both matching an identical 15 misses, but 2100s, 1150s versus 4700s and 850s for WindowLife. ninerik starting off strong, and he's saying, WindowLife there in chat, that ending is hard. Yeah, agreed. And it's a quick S2 pick, instantly, just like that.
The Fool. This song, I think, is a little notorious with tournament players. Very typical song to see in the No Mod 5, but this one going to be a lot harder than a No Mod 5 you would see in a normal tournament. 9.13 stars, 250 BPM, mapped by Camo. And this is one of those maps, I mentioned during Kakuzetsu Thanatos where there's a lot of potential for chain misses to really screw someone up. I think this is one of those picks.
This is one that... Oh, go ahead.
This was played yesterday in Aimbot Cone versus WindowLife. And WindowLife got 93%, winning that matchup against the 92% from Aimbot Cone.
And, well, the chat there, ninerik expected the protect here of Sputnik, saying that he was going to get 60% on it, but also the mind games maybe there in chat. We'll see if that one will almost certainly end up getting picked eventually, and we'll get to find out whether or not he's trolling a bit here. But yeah, 93 ack yesterday, as mentioned for WindowLife, I think definitely an achievable act to aim for again here. The question is whether it'll be good enough against ninerik in this matchup, assuming he does end up with that same accuracy again. And in we go, 250 BPM. You got bursts, you got kick sliders, and I mean, it's a camo map, which means the aim requirement in the flow sections is going to be pretty challenging, and that's a big early drop from ninerik down to 95.
That's what I'm saying. On a camo map, the flow aim is really going to determine a lot on this one, and to the beginning, already very evident of that. WindowLife going to take a 2% AC lead out of the very beginning. There's a lot of map to go as the bursts start, and will probably not finish until the map is over.
Yeah, one thing about this pool, it's not just about the raw speed or finger control. The stamina, both in-map and across the entire match, that's going to be a big factor, because if you're playing an entire best of 13 with maps like this over and over with very little downtime, you got to think that your stamina might start to dwindle just a little bit as it continues onward. But this early in the match, both guys looking pretty strong. That's a big drop there from ninerik, though, all the way down to 93. WindowLife still holding up at 96.5.
Through that first big flow aim section, WindowLife looks to have a pretty decent advantage, 2% about in his favor, as we reach the 1/3 mark of this map. And this is looking good for WindowLife on his first pick. This is a similar lead to what ninerik had on Kakuzetsu Thanatos for most of the time.
Holding steady as we get through the first third. There is another drop for both players. Not going to have too much effect on the discrepancy. It's still about 2%. There's a drop from WindowLife, though. Drops 1 full percentage of accuracy while ninerik holds. So that's going to bring it back about half the difference between them. However, you've got a lot of these really challenging flow sections still to come. And it's getting a little closer, but it's expanding back out. ninerik tries to get some of the advantage back, but drops a big chain of misses and hundreds. And sub 95, so it's about a 0.8% AC lead, though anything goes here in these 1/3 sections, especially if you find chain misses like that one from ninerik.
I thought WindowLife was about to lose the lead there too. He found some breaks as well, but that drop from ninerik can expand his lead yet again, back to about 1% for WindowLife. Third of the map remaining, but in that last third is going to be another chorus section, and that's where the flow aim gets really difficult again, and I fear that it's going to come down to that again, but there's a massive drop from WindowLife. ninerik's going to take the lead right back from that, a 0.2% AC lead from that massive drop from WindowLife, and that's what I'm saying, folks. The chain misses on this, those chained together hundreds and AC drops in general are just going to really hurt both players on this pick. But now ninerik has a short advantage to play with.
Yeah, this is only a few hundreds, though. It's 0.1% or less, and you still have flow sections, but there's a huge drop from WindowLife. Oh, that was bad. He might have just run out of chances to get a lead back. He's going to need to rely on ninerik to have trouble in the ending now. That was a big chain miss. Both players chain missing once more. And this ending, I mean, like we said, the stamina on this just gets to you. These flow patterns are so hard as well. And now it's all of a sudden over a 1.5% lead for ninerik going into the last moments of the map. Might just be able to steal away an early break point here.
And that's going to be the case. 1.6% AC lead about for ninerik. And it's going to be a tragedy on WindowLife's first pick. A break point. The XD coming out in smoke from ninerik. Maybe perhaps not expecting to take this one, but going to be that early break point to go up 2-0 in this best of 13.
Yeah, that is not what you want. Yeah, in any situation, your first pick to be a drop like that. And it kind of comes down to like multiple factors. It's the miscount, it's the 100 count. You wonder if WindowLife maybe should have first picked that protect. Maybe he should have just gone into Sputnik. But the mind games are very strong. And now ninerik with his own second pick here, opportunity to take the consolidated breakpoint advantage. Looked very solid on Kakuzetsu Thanatos. What is the second pick going to be is the question. A lot of options here in this giant pool.
Usually when it comes down to a pick strategy like this, I feel like after you get a breakpoint is a great time to pick your protected pick. That S6 Thing 3, I think would be a good pick for ninerik right now in order to consolidate that breakpoint almost surely, and he is going to go for the S6, so Thing 3 going to be coming out. Oh, this is a Ghost Assassin, it sounds like.
Yeah. So this is a super high BPM edit of Ghost Assassin, 285 BPM, and it's a C-Mob map, so like, I actually will admit to not being familiar with this particular thing. I've seen a few of the things, I don't know that I've seen this one. Typically very challenging on the flow aspect and the bursty finger control stuff. Okay, this is a mashup of 4 different, I thought these were separate the way he did the things, but I guess I was mistaken.
Yeah, regardless, you have to assume this is going to be a pretty good pick for ninerik as we get into the start. Already some act drops from WindowLife as ninerik is looking comfortable, to say the least. Finally dropping 100. 250 combo into whatever this thing may be. 285 BPM bursts, just relentless stamina. WindowLife not doing too badly as well, though. Still at 98.3%. It's not like WindowLife is doing bad on this by any means, by any map. It's just going up against ninerik on this is going to be a tough prospect for any player in the game.
And now we go into Leave the Lights On, which is one of my favorites. Another drop there from WindowLife on the aim section. This looks like almost dense because it's CS3 at this BPM. But in we go to the next tapping section. We'll see if ninerik can continue holding this ludicrous accuracy. Clearly incredibly comfortable on this BPM. And like you said, WindowLife not too far behind, but when you're up against a couple of 100s and you're, you know, at 98.5 yourself, you're going to be giving a little bit away. Another aim miss from WindowLife. This is the plight of the speed player, breaking on the aim sections. You hate to see it, but it's giving a little bit more of an advantage over to ninerik.
I'm just kind of astounded with what ninerik is doing right now. As we get into the next song in this mashup, is he gonna find any struggles on this map at all? We're 2/3 of the way through, still 99.8%.
Yeah, I don't know. This is not right as we're going through this section of Time Bomb here. I mean, what are we seeing? Finally, a couple of 100s. ninerik may be human, but still 99.6. Like, come on. It's just too simple for him, I suppose. And now it's united to the end. And it is a 1.4% accuracy lead. ninerik just finally, he misses on the aim. He missed on the aim. Of course he missed on the aim with 99.6 ACFC. Why not miss on the aim? That is just a kick into a very sensitive area, unfortunately, for ninerik.
Yeah, but still, like, this is an accuracy tournament. That doesn't matter. He is going to almost hit that entire stream. Both of them finding a chain miss right at the end. ninerik, unfortunately, not going to keep that astounding 99.5%, but 98.64, even chain missing that whole stream at the end. He has more misses than hundreds. And that's going to be a very definitive second point one for ninerik, and we can see why he protected that map.
Yeah, tournament PP record without that chain miss. But like, my god, dude. 10 hundreds, 14 misses. I don't know. 1700 combo versus 393 combo. What can you even say? That was up there with like best ever tournament speed plays, pretty comfortably. I don't know. That's ridiculous. And it's going to be the unsurprising S9 pick the other direction. WindowLife, break glass in case of emergency. It's Sputnik time.
Yeah, I mean, protected picks just end up being like that. You break glass in case of success if you take a break point, and in case of emergency if you go down a consolidated break point. WindowLife really needs to get on the board with this one. Down 3-0 already in this matchup. ninerik only 4 points away from a quick victory, so WindowLife really needs to swing some of the momentum back in his side. So Sputnik is going to come out, this iconic rhythm map. First came out in, I think, OWC 2021 as the Grand Finals Nomad 6.
It's definitely been a couple years, and I think this is a good option. If ninerik is anywhere near as poor at this map as he claims to be, this is a really good pick for WindowLife. needs to get some momentum back, and it is starting out well for WindowLife, really comparatively anyway, as ninerik drops a bunch of misses, a bunch of accuracy down at 82 ac, and WindowLife still up at 91. This is just going to be brutal, I'm pretty sure. A Nomad 6 with DT, like, you're not supposed to do this.
Yeah, like, there are some players who will tell you that Nomad 6s like this are already speed maps on Nomad because they can't tap the 1/6 burst, but you put it on DT and it just becomes a complete different beast. Like, you can see how quickly this changes from 1/3 to 1/6. It's just such a brutal song to just have any sort of finger control for. As you can see, two of the best speed players in the world, 78% and 89%, but looking really good for WindowLife, luckily.
Yeah, I mean, if you ignore what the actual percentages are and just take note of the fact that it's a 10% difference, then, you know, it looks a lot better. We should just skin out the hundreds for this particular map and just look at the act so we don't have to see all of them, because it's really, it's a little ugly at times in some sections of this pick, unfortunately. This one is, yeah, the XD there and the big miss after, because he was not reset after writing in smoke. You kind of get the idea of what's going on here. 12% ac lead, WindowLife. Nobody's surprised, I don't think, by this one.
A successful pick when you need it the most. Very good stuff from WindowLife here, and we once again figure out why these players protect the maps that they protect. A very good win for ninerik on his protect, followed by a very good protect from WindowLife, as he is going to improve on his accuracy from yesterday by a ton. Wait a minute, he's at 92%. This surely is not an A rank. I think this is like just a B rank, but like it could be close.
I think it's just behind, but it's a very, very high B.
Oh.
92.16 accuracy. I mean, that's pretty insane. That is the best DTAC on the leaderboards. Number one DT right now is Kama with 91.4 accuracy, 323 combo. So this would be the new highest DTAC, if not for Scorer V2, which is pretty crazy. That is a very good pick for WindowLife. The point is there. ninerik still has a break point, and he has the pick.
Yeah, and here comes S5, Soul Seeker. So I think this one is kind of in a similar vein as the Fool, where this is another map where a lot of the act drops are going to come from chain misses on the flow aim. And you can hear the song, it's going to be a similar vibe. 9.6 stars, 350 BPM, and a whole lot of flow aim.
Yeah, and this is one of the maps where WindowLife won yesterday despite struggling quite heavily. He put up 89 accuracy. Fortunately for him, aimbot cone put up 79, so it didn't hurt him. But this definitely feels like another pretty solid ninerik selection.
This one being described in chat as not long streams like the previous map, the Fool, but more just short bursts, which definitely a different vibe, but still one of these streamier maps. I mean, everything here is a streamier map. What am I talking about?
Perfect Free isn't a stream map, but unfortunately it was banned.
Yeah, 350. What a BPM to see in a tournament.
Yeah, not normal. Absolutely not normal. And ninerik getting a bit of an early advantage. It's going to be 6% or so in this intro section. Now, this is only 2 minutes long, but it's going to feel longer with the raw just stamina and note density. But, well, if you can get an early lead, you're going to feel okay, I think. And both players struggling a fair amount, but ninerik still holding on to about a 6% accuracy advantage.
I have no idea how ninerik is still in A rank range right now. 350 BPM is just completely inconceivable to like be tappable in my mind. Like, how is he assessing some of these bursts? Like,
I would say rapid trigger.
I mean, I've heard that ninerik doesn't actually use rapid trigger. Like, even I'm not one of those people who theory crafts whether people use rapid trigger or not, but regardless, this is an unbelievable BPM to be able to tap and have 94.5% on. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah, I don't know. 94 on this is stupid. If he finishes anywhere near 94, which, I mean, there's still a third of the map to go, so you never know. But if he finishes at this act, I mean, that's just actually broken. And WindowLife, for his part, like 88 isn't even bad, right? I mean, that's right about where he was yesterday, just a little bit behind. And he's just getting crushed by a 6% accuracy difference.
And I'm being told in Twitch chat by Xylus that he does use Rapid Trigger now, but that honestly doesn't even make this less impressive at all. Like, 350 VPM, like, this is just an entirely new beast to me. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play something of this BPM on stream. Like, unreal.
Yeah, this is not the sort of thing that most people are going to be too comfortable with. It's a very, very short list, or even not even comfortable, but, you know, playable. Very, very short list. 94.47 from ninerik on that. I mean, come on. That's an S rank, by the way. It's a 260k
Okay.
S rank.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, sure. All right, man. That's fine. That's totally normal. Yeah, absolutely. WindowLife, for his part, actually did get a better score than yesterday. Or better accuracy, at least 89.82 up from 89.59. But, like, what difference does it even make when you're up against somebody who puts up a near 94.5 and gets an S rank? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, this is just telling me I need to pool harder speed maps in Corsair's closed. This is what they've been talking about. Like, the cap on these speed players is really just completely boundless at this point. Like, just so skilled at this. Unbelievable. WindowLife now gonna go for the S16. My gut says that was Smoke Tower, but nope, it's
one
Future
away.
Cider.
It's Future Cider. Yeah.
And this is, I think it's going to be a pretty good pick. I mean, after winning Sputnik by that amount, you go into something that just a few years ago would be pooled as a tech map in a no-mod pool in a normal tournament. Now is in a DT tournament. AR 10.6, 9.18. This one, it's going to be less of a direct speed test, more of a tech DT speed test. And that's a much different feel that I think will go to favor WindowLife.
Yeah, I mean, we saw ninerik banning out, you know, some of the techier DT stuff with Perfect Free and with Burn This Moment, which is, you know, bursty and a fair amount of sliders on that insane diff, as I recall. Not tech sliders, obviously, but still. So it does seem like this sort of skill set, the more gimmicky speed picks, may work better in WindowLife's favor. We did see that, of course, on Sputnik, and we'll see if we can see it again here on Future Cider. WindowLife, a solid tech player in the first place, and obviously very good at finger control DT, so you're just kind of mashing that all up here. We'll see as we get into it if he can live up to the expectations. This would be a brutal break point to drop, and wow, ninerik almost just SS that intro. That would have been nuts to get through those buzz sliders.
Yeah, ninerik just said he was going to go Sputnik mode on this map, but I think he's trolling a little bit because he's looking a lot better than he did on Sputnik on this. 98.5% out of the intro. WindowLife already playing catch-up on his own pick as we get into this first techie section, and ninerik is playing this like there is no DT at all. Like, what is that? Just comboing most of that first section there with the hidden, still nearly 98%. He drops down to 97, but WindowLife 4% behind. It's going to be a brutal game of catch-up for WindowLife as he just chain misses on all of these jumps, and it's 89% for WindowLife.
He had the oops haha smoke there. Not what WindowLife would have liked out of this pick so far. Only a third of the way through. Still plenty of time, but it would require ninerik to have a lot of trouble in the back half of the map. The elastic stretching a bit here between these two players, and you worry that there's a time when it just in fact snaps and ninerik takes an unassailable lead as both players get through the finger control section here without dropping too much accuracy. But that is in ninerik's favor as he maintains the 5% accuracy lead. It is now down to 4%. The gains are being made here for WindowLife. He's trying his darndest to catch back up, but ninerik is in a position to maybe just slam the door on him through this next build-up.
I think WindowLife needs to see ninerik break on some of these cut streams. There's another one of those techie Ki sections like we saw in the beginning, and I think for WindowLife's sake, he needs to see ninerik chain miss on some of those, but ninerik has just looked so solid on this one compared to Sputnik. And here we go.
And into this last section, the finger control, buzz sliders, slider jumps, and everything all rolled into one. Both players finding several breaks, but again, it's where it's going to benefit ninerik because WindowLife just not able to make up any ground. It's back by a couple percent. It's 93.7 to 91.8. but it's just going to run out of time regardless, I think, of what WindowLife may do. That gap is still about 2% and just not coming down. And it ends up going to ninerik, and that is another break point. Now 5-1 in the lead. And he was ahead from the word go on that one. As soon as that green flag dropped, he was off to the races like he's Max Verstappen holding on to the lead in Formula One race.
I mean, Max Verstappen, that comparison for speed players might just be the best one we have, because ninerik, ranking that map just so unbelievable. Like, that is a brutal break point for WindowLife to lose there. And now 5-1 for ninerik going into his own pick. There are so many more maps in this pool that ninerik feels like he could have an advantage on. He says he PB'd by 4% on that, by the way.
Nah, that's not real. What, you know, and it's funny because he's coming off of a match in Perennial this morning in that winner's bracket final, where he actually, I felt, underperformed a bit on the maps he was in for. A couple of speed picks that he did not reach, you know, kind of the lofty heights we would associate with him in speed in late rounds of team tournaments. So to show up for a match like this in this grand final to that degree where you're PBing on maps by 4% is a really impressive turnaround from what can't have been, you know, kind of it may have been a bit of a demotivational moment.
You know, a matchup like this, we always have this conversation in more conventional tournaments. Like, it's less of a conversation and more just like shooting the shit, like having a pipe dream about normal tournaments using accuracy for speed picks. And I feel like watching a match like this, it just kind of fuels a little bit of that discussion a little more in my head. Like, I feel like accuracy is just the better way to judge speed, like, just objectively. And we're getting Mythologis End, wow.
Yeah, no, I agree. Accuracy definitely demonstrates better, I think, who is comfortable with a speed pick than does their raw score, because we've seen a decent number of occasions where maps were either very close in score or even the player with the lower rack won in score, but there was still a noticeable accuracy gap. So yeah, I definitely agree. But as you said, we are going to go into Mythologia's End, which WindowLife played yesterday. Unsure if this was his pick or Aimbot Cone's pick, but he got 96.93 AC, which, let's face it, that's a dang good accuracy on this map with DT, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this one, we've been seeing people DT this map for a few years now. It's kind of just been one of those end-game DT scores that it feels like every top speed player has to attempt at some point. And both players getting through that beginning screen pretty comfortably. Just goes to show that I'm sure both these players have lots of locals on this map.
Yeah, absolutely. The type of players who would have some experience with this pick with DT. And it is ninerik out to a smaller lead. Not a huge margin, but he's got a bit of an advantage. You know, the first big stream giving him a little bit of a lead. Still, a lot of time, a lot of those little slightly awkward triples and bursts you can easily miss aim. So this is never going to be safe, especially with a chain miss like that one that's going to make it almost a dead heat.
As we get into the first chorus here, WindowLife's going to find just a slider break, but that's just a slider break. Not too bad for him. ninerik going to find one of his own. And this lead is going to be just about even, but WindowLife, that is a brutal stream at the end of the chorus to have. Now down 1.5%. So we get into some more of these long bursts, into a more spaced stream, but ninerik is just going to SS all of it.
Yeah, that was a really rough chain miss there for WindowLife coming out of that Ki, where it was so close until then, and he just fell behind. Now, though, I mean, it's only 0.7%. Plenty of time, still half the map. This is a very, very lengthy pick, but every second is going to matter, and every break, every 100 is going to count when it's this close. 0.7%. This is staying tight.
Yep, both players in 98. These are just two insane scores for this map, by the way. 98% on Mythologis and DT. If they can manage to hold on to this, it's going to be a legendary performance from both of them. Through the kick slider jumps, accuracy lead gonna remain 0.43 in favor of ninerik as we get into some of the longer bursts of the map. But not sure if either of them are gonna have too much trouble on it. WindowLife getting squared, but we've still got one long burst to go and the final Ki, and it's all gonna come down to that.
Yeah, this is still staying so close. Nobody really dropping anything much. Just one miss here and there. 0.5 accuracy, all that separates them into the quiet section here. Oh my, you gotta hold your breath here coming into the ending. What's gonna happen on the stream? WindowLife drops a lot of hundreds, and that's gonna give a little bit more comfort to ninerik as WindowLife starts to struggle just a tiny bit. The 1% lead now in favor of ninerik.
Yeah, ninerik has played so well with the lead for this match. He does find a chain miss on that stream, but with some subsequent breaks from WindowLife, it's going to be fine for ninerik. 0.7% lead as we get into these final long bursts of the map. But ninerik, long bursts, he's just been SSing all of them this match, and he is going to go into the ending and take this pick to go up to match point.
And that is the best accuracy. Oh, I tell a lie. That is maybe 1 or 2 100s away from the best accuracy on the map with DT. A month ago, Malteser, 98.29. Here today in match, ninerik, 98.23. So that, from what I can see on the leaderboard, second best DT AC on the map in a match setting to go up championship point. I mean, it's what more can you even say? Just remarkable in the situation or at all.
Yeah, I mean, Malteser, goated score on the leaderboard, but doing it in match, these two players just in such a tense environment, $500 on the line, championship now on the line for ninerik after that one. But now WindowLife back against the wall. At least he has his own pick to fall back upon, and he's still got some of the gimmickier DT maps to go. He's got the final map of the pool. I think it's like S17, I think?
S17
G-free.
is G-free, yeah.
I think G-free could be a good pick for him, and I think Smoke Tower could also be a good pick for him. And it's going to be S11, though, which...
That is TTFAF.
Oh my god.
The old TTFAF. This is the Lesja.
God.
Yeah, this is an ancient map. This one's from 2010. CS5 AR8 base stats, very, very long, 300 BPM bursts. I mean... It's Dragon Force. It's a classic. It's got the right background and everything.
And I know you have a Guitar Hero background. You must love to see this get picked in this match.
Oh, for sure, man. I go all the way back to before the Guitar Hero 3 days, which was the game, of course, that this song was in. And yeah, it's been an exciting, intense song in any rhythm game that it's in, and Osu is no exception.
Yeah, so many iconic maps of this song. I think more people prefer to DT the Pono Yoshi one. That's a little bit more of a farm map. And this one is, I mean, the most iconic score on this map that I can remember is when Index got that first Hard Rock FC so long ago, back in like 2015 or 2014 or something. And now we're seeing it be DT'd. And these streams, as Lesja maps them, are so awkward. And this is Approach Rate 8, folks. AR 9.7 after DT added, almost 10 stars, 300 BPM, and the struggle is real.
Yeah, neither player having a great time with the intro there. We'll note WindowLife put up a 92.39 on this yesterday, 566 max combo for him on that occasion. He'll be looking to do that again, because I do think low to mid 90s will be fine on this map. But for now, it's going to be ninerik holding on to a bit of an early advantage into kind of this first chorus section here.
You can't underestimate the density of 300 BPM AR 9.7. Most people would prefer to play this type of density with like AR 10.3 at least. But these guys looking to be starting to find their foothold on this map. ninerik up at 97.5% and WindowLife at 96, both of which I actually cannot believe. I have to look at the leaderboard, see what the hell the accuracies are on this, because this map with DT is no joke.
Yeah, I mean, this map only has 4 modded FCs in the first place. Obviously, no DT FCs, no hidden Hard Rock FCs either. So you get an idea of just what we're dealing with here to have DT on that map. Best DT AC looks to be 94.66 from Marami. Xylus with a 93.65. And nobody else over 86. No, nobody else over 88, excuse me. Another Malteser play, in fact, is 88 AC, so we're seeing him on these leaderboards, unsurprisingly. So this 98 from ninerik would be beyond unprecedented if he can hold anything close to this.
I mean, you just said this is another one of Marami's act records, which have been kind of like, they've been the treasure that I feel like the modern speed players have just been continuing to try and beat, and I believe both players are on pace. You said Marami had like 94.5?
Yeah, it was 94.66 from his play. Mentioned that was 4 years ago, November of 2020. Xylus 93.65. That was just a few months ago. That was back in April of this year.
So both of these guys on pace to beat a unbeaten Marami-Ak lead, and we get on into this 1/3 section. Probably expect both players to SS these ones. These are the lowest BPM streams in the map. Before we get on into the guitar solo that has just been so brutal, WindowLife finds another chain miss. ninerik remaining around that 98%. This is actually outstanding. I'm so excited to see how he does on the guitar solo part, because if he can manage to keep this accuracy through that, this might just be one of the best speed performances I've ever seen in a tournament.
Well, here we're gonna go. We go into the build-up, and then we go into what Guitar Hero calls Herman Solo 1, where things just really pop off, both, on a guitar chart, in an Osu map, whatever. It is a chain miss there from ninerik. He's gonna drop down into, sub 97.5, but still holding pretty remarkable accuracy. WindowLife struggling a little bit more, but still at 95 as well. Both these guys absolutely shredding this map.
And it just feels like this has been the story for this entire match. It hasn't been WindowLife playing bad by any stretch of the imagination. It is just ninerik being on a different stratosphere. As he gets through that part, he does drop a lot of accuracy down to 96.8, but still with a pretty strong act lead as WindowLife goes down as well. By a lot, actually. Wow, that is some struggles from WindowLife now. 2.5% for ninerik as we get through the solo. 96.8 for ninerik, and only one really difficult section of the map left, and ninerik just on the cusp of winning ESSA right here.
Yep, this is looking like it's going to be all ninerik all the time in this match. Another chain miss comes through for WindowLife. ninerik holding on to 96.9. Let's see if he can get back up to 97 at this ending section. The outcome a foregone conclusion, it seems, at this point, but the 97% act dream still within reach for ninerik. WindowLife is going to fall. He's still going to finish with a 93. 97 is there for ninerik. Can he hold on into the ending? And he does! A 97 act play on Through the Fire and Flames DT. If he hits the last notes, there it is. ninerik with a ridiculous play to close out the match and to close out the tournament. Your champion of ESSA, and with a bang is ninerik.
97%. We said at the start of this map that the current accuracy record on this is Marami with 94.5, and ninerik just pulls out a 97 on Through the Fire and Flames DT. AR 9.7, 300 BPM. He got 1,000 combo on this map. Just completely absurd stuff from ninerik, and a completely deserving play to win the tournament on. And it was a good fight from WindowLife, but just out of this world from ninerik.
Just a truly insane performance throughout this entire tournament from ninerik. I mean, virtually unchallenged. I mean, he goes 5-0 first round, gets a forfeit second round, 6-1 in the quarterfinals over Tomas Cheek. He goes 6-0 over Curtis in the semifinals, goes 7-2 over Aimbot Cone in the finals, and now he goes 7-1 over WindowLife in grands. Just a ridiculous run, showing that he is really the undisputed king of speed in tournament gameplay.
And ninerik is going to be walking away with a $500 prize, so pretty good stuff for OC tournament standards. $500, that's one of the higher prizes I've ever seen from tournaments, and we're going to be getting a tiebreaker showcase for this as well. Apparition mapped by Camo, the ESSA version, which means it's sped up, so 255 BPM Apparition.
That is actually messed up. Wait. So normally this is 240. So we're just tacking on 50 BPM more because this map wasn't hard enough to begin with. We needed to make it more difficult. modern reimagining of the map. I know already ranked, or at least qualified. Pretty cool. It's been a while since we've had a new map of this, and yeah, still in qualified. Gonna be another couple days, it looks like, before it'd get ranked. But ninerik has a 1 miss on this already, by the way. So just keep that in mind. It's 15 BPM lower the diff that he played, but still.
Yeah, I think someone should go back and FC the original apparition first. Still super unreal how cursed that map is, but this one, with the speed up version between these two players, we're gonna see what might have been if WindowLife managed to win 5 more points in this one.
Yeah, that unfortunately never felt too likely the way the match went, but really fun to see regardless. The flow on this, I mean, we already had one camo map, right? And we saw what the flow was like on that map, on the S2, the Fool, and this is more of the same but elevated up to 11. I do want to take a moment to shout out WindowLife and his run in this tournament. He was dropped to the losers bracket in quarterfinals week by Aimbot Cone by a score of 6-1. Went on a run through losers, having to beat Emisthetic, Xylus, Curtis, Ciccone, and Aimbot Cone, which is just a crazy gauntlet to run in losers bracket to get all the way up to grand final. So super well-deserved second place finish for our number 2 seed in this tournament, who has really been rising in the ranks of tournament speed players over the last year and a half or so.
Yeah, I mean, he had an invite to Courses Closed. He was on the USA OWC team for his speed prowess in what's typically been a rotating position on that roster, where it feels like every year USA brings in different speed players, but WindowLife, with his current performance, looking to become a mainstay on that roster. But for ninerik, man, this is just kind of claiming his throne. He was number 1 seed from the start. He won qualifiers by such a large margin, and it just felt like a matter of time before he wins this tournament, and he just proved exactly why he was such a favorite today, because he is just on a different level from every tournament speed player in the game.
Yeah, and this tournament being accuracy-based just showed off even more how strong ninerik is. His AC is always something to behold. Like, even if he might find a miss here and there, as players do, his ability to maintain ridiculous AC on very, very challenging speed maps is second to none, basically. So it's an unsurprising result, perhaps, but a nonetheless impressive one. Also, you know, third place finisher, yesterday's loser in that losers final, Aimbot Cone. I don't know that necessarily was a player who was expected to reach quite such heights. He qualified in 7th and made it all the way up to top 3. So quite well done to him for outperforming his seed by a pretty decent margin and taking out some very strong opposition over the course of the tournament. You know, that there was a match, that match where he beat WindowLife 6-1 in the quarterfinals. Really showed what he was capable of. Unfortunately, I think just got maybe a tiny little bit skill capped here in grand finals, and WindowLife took advantage of it. But nonetheless, third place in this tournament is something to be proud of.
Aimbot Cone, he's, I believe, a top 20 player in the world now. Mostly speed. I know he's been a tournament player for quite some time on some OWC Germany teams, and always been really good at the speed, but taking it up to a whole new level this year, so it's been awesome to see his rise to stardom here. But yeah, I mean, these two players just rose above the rest, and we just got an insane grand final.
Yeah, you know, you want it to be, I think, in a perfect world, maybe a little more competitive than a 7-1 finish, but WindowLife still performed well. It just showed off how good ninerik was on this pool and across this entire tournament. You can't really ask for much more every single time. Every single grand final can't be a nail-biter tiebreaker. Sometimes it's just one player showing why they are such a dominant force. To talk a little bit of IRL sports for a sec, right? Like, we had Carlos Alcaraz looking like an absolute beast this morning in Wimbledon final. Hade Pogato looking like an absolute beast in the Tour de France stage. ninerik looking like an absolute beast in ESSA Grand Finals. I mean, it's just one thing after another today for these guys showing what they're capable of at the highest level.
And I mean, we've got a lot of high-level just sports and esport today. If you're a soccer or a football fan, you've got the Euro final in 12 minutes after this, so find a place to watch that. It's probably going to be another banger matchup. But here we go, about to reach the climax of Apparition, the long stream section at the end, the one that's so notorious for killing runs. Let's see how these two players can manage to do on it.
Oh, they are holding through. Oh, ninerik, it's going to be a break from both of them. I think they should have double tapped Miles.
I would have double tapped it personally.
And it looks like ninerik going to emerge on top in this tiebreaker showcase as well. He's got about a 2% accuracy lead now with these late misses in this very, very difficult ending section from WindowLife. But man, oh man. This would have been crazy. Like, this tiebreaker with stakes, man. Oh, jeez. Coming into this section if the map was close.
It would have been so intense, but unfortunately not going to see it played in any official setting. Still get to see some pretty good scores on this. 93% from WindowLife going into the ending, 95 from ninerik. And I feel like it's always been that kind of margin in this match. ninerik would win by just a few percent. Like, it's enough to be a substantial difference, but WindowLife, sorry, just like one step behind ninerik in this entire matchup, and that's what it's going to be going into the ending, although WindowLife just wants to hit the left side of the screen. Notes on this?
The left side alone won't win you too many maps, unfortunately. And ninerik 7-1 in the match, 1-0 on the tiebreaker showcase. Champion, $500 to his bank account. Perhaps a profile badge on his profile as well to follow up. And just an incredible performance across this entire tournament from ninerik.
And I believe we are going to get some words from our hosts now. Henry and Rizoa should be joining the voice chat in a sec for some parting words for this tournament.
Yeah, we are just awaiting them to join. We'll be handing it over to them shortly. I would certainly like to say a big congratulations to ninerik and a big thank you to everyone for watching, for being a part of this tournament. It's been really, really exciting. Not a lot of tournaments out there like this one, and this definitely lived up to the billing. So thank you to the hosts for having me. Thank you, Miles, for the commentary. Thank you to everybody involved. And we're going to hand it over to Henry and to Rizoa for some parting words as ESSA concludes.
Hell yeah, thanks.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Okay,
all right.
First of all, yeah, I want to say congratulations to ninerik. Really decisive wins all around. WindowLife and Ivancon also really good podium placements. Definitely such impressive performances. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say? I was gonna say something, but I want to save that for last. So.
I mean, honestly, I would just like talk about the stuff. Obviously.
Yeah.
Huge thanks to like literally everyone who participated. There were so many playtesters who were really active. Malteser, Rafe, Nemros, Karma as well in late stage, Taro, and so on and so forth. Thanks, Camo, for this incredible tiebreaker. Honestly, like this map was so good, and it was very
really
exciting.
good.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Also, a line. Crazy video. That video is fantastic. If you haven't watched it yet, go on YouTube, go on Henry's channel, I think, and watch that video, because that guy deserves so much praise for that. Obviously also Hawk for all of the streaming resources and stuff. That guy worked his butt off for pretty much just making everything work as smooth as possible with this overlay. And obviously also pretty much every ref, every commentator as well. T1G, obviously, Miles, Blanktab was active, Shiba was sorta active. There were so many commentators who were just like there and helping us out, and that was very good for us. And yeah. And now, Henry, you can continue now.
Okay. I mean, it was really fun hosting this tournament, and I think, like, in general, since it was my first tournament, it was kind of overwhelming, but in the end, everything worked out as planned. And I think it goes without saying that ESSA 25 is probably going to happen someday. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Literally, just ESSA's happening next year probably,
Yep.
and yeah.
We might
Thank you
prepare
guys so much for
something
watching.
very special for that tournament if it
Yeah.
gets down to it. ESSA 25. Gonna be exciting. Dude, that sounds like a fucking slogan. But yeah, yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, Flapjack also as well for streaming a lot of the matches. I forgot to mention that, sorry. There's also gonna be like a good announcement to like pretty much like helping everyone and praising them for their incredible work.
Yeah.
And yeah, this tournament was definitely a fever dream, honestly. This
definitely
tournament
was.
honestly dropped in the most weird way with Rundi pinging at everyone in a different tournament server and asking how everyone's day was. Then sorta, and ESSA just started the same day.
ESSA kind of just formed from there, and I think it's definitely such a worth it experience to be hosting something like this.
Definitely.
We have some special stuff coming for you guys next year.
Oh,
and possibly
hell
even
yeah.
other tournaments aside from ESSA that I'm going to be hosting. Yeah.
Yeah. Also same with me. I'm gonna host something as well, probably. I don't know. Again.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys for watching every single match. And hope you guys are gonna have a nice day, nice night, depending on where you live. And there's the GOAT Blanktab in the chat. Thanks a lot, Blanktab, once again. And yeah, that's it. That's all. Loved it,
Bye-bye.
lived it. Thank you guys. Bye bye.
I can't believe it's over. I actually cannot believe it. Who do you rate?
ninerik.
ninerik, stop streaming.
He is online for me. Oh, never mind. He is gone.
Let's find someone.
Are we hosting Spazza? Spazza or could probably work out.
Spazza.
I mean, he just watched it. He would just watch the match.
I would
But
like
yeah,
to raid Judy. I'm gonna be real, yeah.
Wait, is Sudi streaming?
She
She's streaming?
is playing Oil Cup
there.
qualifiers, yeah.
I didn't even see her. Oops.
Okay, goodbye guys. Show her love. Eric ended.
Oh.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.